Hi, I'm Benji Hardy. I've got your Arkansas Times news headlines for today, Monday, June 22nd. We'll start the news with more out of Charleston, South Carolina. Arkansas's U.S. Senator Tom Cotton and other Republicans today have announced that they will return donations made to their campaigns by Earl Holt, who is the president of a white supremacist group called the Council of Conservative Citizens, and the evident inspiration behind Dylan Roof's racially motivated killing spree in Charleston last week. An online manifesto that's widely assumed to be written by Roof cites writings about, quote, brutal black-on-white murders from the Council of Conservative Citizens website as informing the evolution of his racist views. The Guardian reported yesterday that Holt has donated some $65,000 to Republican candidates in the past few election cycles, including over $8,000 to Texas Senator Ted Cruz and about $1,500 to Arkansas's Cotton. In a statement, Cotton said, "We have initiated a refund of Mr. Holt's contribution. I do not agree with his hateful beliefs and language and believe they are hurtful to our country." Another item out of South Carolina, that state's governor, Nikki is expected to call on her legislature this afternoon to remove the Confederate flag that flies over the Capitol grounds. The issue of the flag has become a flashpoint of renewed controversy since the racially motivated shooting last week. And South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who is running for the GOP presidential nomination, is expected to join her in calling for the removal of the flag as well. Most of the other Republican candidates for president remain silent on the issue, including Mike Huckabee. When asked about it over the weekend on Meet the Press, he said, "It's not an issue for me. I don't personally display it anywhere. It's not really an issue that should come up in the presidential campaign." However, back in 2008, whenever he was running the last time around, Huckabee campaigned in South Carolina, but at one point telling people there that he was strongly in favor of allowing the state to keep the flag up. He said, quote, "At the time, 2008, if somebody came to Arkansas and told us what to do with our flag, we'd tell them where to put the pole. That's what we do." Speaking of Huckabee, a poll in Arkansas shows that the former governor would easily beat Hillary Clinton among likely Arkansas voters if the two were matched up in the 2016 presidential contest. The latest round of polling released by Talk Business, Hendrix College, and Impact Management Group shows that Huckabee would beat Clinton by a wide margin if they happen to be the two candidates on their respective tickets. That doesn't so much reflect massive popularity of Huckabee, however, as it does unpopularity of Clinton. She does just about as badly against a generic Republican as she does against Huckabee. The pollsters also, by the way, asked a question about a U.S. Senate contest between incumbent Senator John Boozman and former Democratic Governor Mike Beebe. Beebe would win that hypothetical contest. However, Beebe has said in the past that he has no interest in running for the U.S. Senate seat, so that's strictly hypothetical. Moving on, we're beginning to learn a little bit about some of the allegations of sexual misconduct at the Macpherson Women's Unit, the prison up in Newport, that the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating for alleged sexual abuse on the part of staff at that unit. The former chaplain, who has been accused of having sexual relationships with two female inmates at the Macpherson Unit, is Kenneth DeWitt. Evidently, DeWitt resigned his position as chaplain last fall after confessing that he did indeed have sex with a subordinate chaplain who herself had once been an inmate but was no longer an inmate. Following his departure, then the Arkansas Department of Corrections barred DeWitt from further employment with the agency. Now, that's a separate matter than the allegations regarding his contact with women who were inmates at the time, which would not be merely unethical but actually illegal. Inmates in Arkansas cannot consent to sexual relations under law. DeWitt's resignation from his post would have been several months before the time at which the Department of Corrections say that two female inmates stepped forward with those allegations. We will have to see what comes of that in the coming weeks. And finally today, Donald Trump will evidently headline the Republican Party of Arkansas's annual fundraiser, the Reagan-Rockefeller Dinner, to be held on July 17th in Hot Springs. Republican Party State Chairman Doyle Webb said in the news release, quote, "It's always an exciting night, but this year will definitely be interesting with such a dynamic speaker. Mr. Trump brings a very unique dimension to next year's democratic process as a private entrepreneur and business leader." Meanwhile, the Arkansas Democrats have Hillary Clinton headlining their fundraiser coming up later this summer. That's all for today. Back here tomorrow with more.